Hello. First, I would like to humbly thank the White House correspondent for inviting my close companion, Catherine Vial-Pondon, who currently isn't here at the moment, and I to this briefing. We are both gun control advocates. We have come prepared to persuade a vast majority of you to stray more to the tighter side of gun control laws. Catherine? The torrent of mass shootings in America right now due to weak control laws is disturbing. The American people want change, and that should not be denied because the men of the NRA want to continue to accumulate profit off of assault weapons. Guns are obviously landing into the hands of the wrong people. And you may be wondering how? How? Well, how could America, one of the most diverse and advanced countries in the world, allow that? Well, we do, and it's all a result of people having easier access to gun than women are having access to abortion. Shooters, who happen to be a majority of males, can get their hands on a weapon. And this weapon is designed only of having the purpose to kill, quite simply, and it's like trying to walk on eggshells. One crucial factor that these sick men have in common is that they all purchase the guns legally. Now, despite being placed on a terror watch list prior to the shooting, the Pulse nightclub shooter was able to purchase a weapon. Despite being a felon, Dylan Rolfe, the man who killed 10 African Americans in South Carolina, a disgusting hate crime, was able to purchase weapons. I, along with 68% of other Americans, are supporters in the fight for gun control. And now, wait. The biggest question and concern is, if we have more Americans wanting stricter gun laws than ones who do not, why aren't we doing it? Are we ignoring that this is a democracy? We already do not have that much faith in the way our government operates. According to Pew Research Center, trust Americans have in our democracy is at the lowest it has been in history. Only 18% of Americans can say they have trust in our government. The people feel as if they cannot trust the very thing that is supposed to protect us. Let's go back to Catherine's point about the NRA. Not only do the men working in the National Rifle Association make money, but the ones who are supposedly there to work for the people, aka politicians, receive large profit off of the sales and contributions that the NRA accumulates. Some example of exquisitive members working with the NRA are Senator John McCain, who tops the list of the senators who receive contributions from them. He has received a total of $7.74 million throughout his career. Next can be Senator Richard Burr, just below John McCain on the list, who has received a total of $6.99 million. And of course, Mr. President Donald Trump had the NRA support in his 2016 election with contributions of $11 million, as well as Hillary's election too, which was $19 million. Clearly, it's no wonder the president wants to keep the sales of guns constant. These politicians are making money, so once someone threatens them, or threatens to take it away, they tend to go on defense mode. They are more worried about defending their money rather than the lives of innocent people. Is all that money really worth the constant loss of lives? And now, not only that, but what's happening? Okay, we're back. And now, not only that, but and now, not only that, but it is statistically proven that stricter gun laws have lower rates of accidental child death and gun-related violence or death. A study from Epidemiologic Reviews concluded that stricter gun laws resulted in fewer deaths. Continuing on, Igor Volsky reports that it also reduced the amount of children who died from a gun accident. These statistics and studies should further push your fire to fight for stricter gun laws. Imagine a world where the government listens to the people and does their best to accommodate their needs. A world where you will not hear on the news that a toddler got a hold of a gun and passed away because of regulations that did not require gun owners to be educated on how to own them. Now, hold on. Owning a gun is a lot easier than you think. Background checks are hardly ever required. A gun can be purchased through a gun show. A gun can be purchased online. A gun can be purchased through a private seller without delay. There used to be a ban on assault weapons at least, but in 2004, however, that was lifted. Our country has no required firearm training. Now let me repeat that. We do not require firearm training. America, one of the most sophisticated countries in the world, does not require that. I'm probably going to have to cut that part out. Okay. The United States should be following the model of Japan. Hold on, what's so special about Japan? Japan rarely sees any gun deaths. For that reason, in order to buy a gun, the citizens have to go through a rigorous process to see if they qualify. They have to take a firearm class and pass a written exam. They have to get a doctor's note saying they're mentally fit, and then apply for a permit. To even take training, which can take a long time to get, they have to describe to the police why they need a gun and pass a review of having, a clean criminal history. Then, they must get a gunpowder permit, take a training class, and pass a firing test. Then they have to buy a safe that meets regulations, of course, and then the police have to inspect it. Then, after that, they go through one last background check, and finally, they are allowed to purchase a gun. The process is extensive, and I know that hearing that about having to go through this makes a lot of Americans cringe. But is it really that bad if it saves millions of lives? Guns are a part of our Second Amendment rights, and nobody's trying to take that away. People are simply trying to keep guns out of the hands of people who clearly have no actual reason to own them. Our government, the heads of our government, should be following the footsteps of Japan. Guns would still be accessible, just not as easily as walking into a gun show. Guns would still be accessible, but just not as easily as walking into a gun show and leaving with a gun in under an hour. Millions of innocent Americans could potentially be saved by taking away quick access to guns. Now, guns are an epidemic. There is no denying that they are capable of incomprehensible horrors. Everyday citizens getting their hands on them without training, education, or even a background check is absurd. We should not possess that much power in our hands when we do not know what to do with it. You would not hire someone with no credentials in law when you're looking for a lawyer. So why would you give someone a gun with no credentials in handling a weapon? One huge flaw in our system was the legislation passed in 2004 that required background checks, but was later revoked. This means that states can choose whether or not to follow it. Some states do not. Optional background checks should not even be a consideration. Its lack of efficiency. Thorough and consistent background checks are something the government should not just skip. If they feel like it is inconvenient, the real inconvenience is feeling unsafe going to school, or feeling like any day could be your last day. And when someone's right to own a gun overrides my right to live, that's the fault of the system. We need to fix this. No one should own a gun without proper education, just as someone needs to be educated before going behind the wheel. Now, Please take what we said into consideration. Please do something for the American people. Please listen to us. Do you want to wait and sit around until you see another school made victim to a mass shooting, or a restaurant under chaos due to a shooter who should have not even gotten the gun in the first place? Do you want to make a difference in my life? Do you want to make a difference in America's life? No. Stricter gun laws won't just bring a little difference, but huge impacts. Victims of mass shootings no longer have to wait in anticipation until another school shooting happens, or parents won't have to fear in sending their child to school, and students won't have to worry about school shooters coming up in their classroom. It will be a thing of the past, of course. Of course. We will remember those whose lives were lost, and we will never forget. But we can put this driving fear to rest, and we can put this behind us as soon as we get stricter gun laws. Thank you.